Hello, 102. I just wanted to give you a quick reminder of what you're supposed to be working on so we stay on track because you've got two things due next week. So don't forget to look at last week's video so that you um, have a review of what you should be working on right now. I have your assignment sheet up on Google Docs and I see some folks on it, so that's good. It looks like some of you are looking at it. Let me go over that with you really quickly. We'll do a quick review also of essay structure, and then I'll remind you of what you're supposed to be doing for the new drama unit, which will be our last unit, and then we will rush to our final. Okay, so your assignment is to choose one poem we've read so far and one element of poetry we've discussed. Okay, so that would be tone, theme, language, diction. Well, actually, I did this wrong. Let me edit this sheet in real time right now. Okay, choose one poem we've read so far and one element of poetry we've discussed. Tone, language, which is also diction, word choice, figurative language, metaphors, similes, so on and so forth, image, and symbolism. You're choosing one of those things. And then you're explaining how that thing in one specific poem reveals the poem's theme. My example thesis, which I wrote it down because it talks about line length, and that's not one of the elements that's an option for you. That's why I chose that one. So you can't actually use my sample thesis, but I put it together so that you understood kind of how you're constructing the thesis. Kaveh Akbar's use of separate sections and long lines in his poem The Palace reveals the theme of disconnection between people in America. It's not the best thesis in the world, but that's how you would put together your thesis. This is very, very important. The essay question, your answer to that essay question is the thesis of your essay. Many folks in your first essay had great ideas, but like I said, a lack of focus. The focus of your essay really needs to be strong. You need a strong thesis, or you have a collection of kind of loose ideas that don't connect, and that's not what an essay is. An essay is a collection of paragraphs that revolve around one clear main argument and idea that you are proving, explaining, developing throughout the essay. Okay, so answer this question. That will be your thesis. Make sure that you are clear that that's the thesis and that everything else you're doing is designed to support and prove that thesis. Which means when you get to your body paragraphs, you are going to be developing topic sentences that support that main idea. You also need to be doing close readings of the poem that you choose. So that means you need evidence. You're going to be pulling a line from the poem, explaining what it means and how it supports that topic sentence, okay? No one emailed me about clarifications on essay structure, so I guess I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that and making a new video about it. But these are your second essays, and your final is an essay, so it's essential that you really get this down. I would love to see improvements from, some of the C-level grades we were getting up to B's and A's. Okay, so the other thing you need to be doing, this is on last week's video, but you need to read in your textbook the section on drama. So you're going to read, you're going to start the drama section. That's pages 1152 to 1175. You're going to read all of chapter 23. That's elements of drama, which is pages 1178 to 1187. And then you're going to read online, I gave you the link on the last video, a play by Sarah Rule called Dead Man's Cell Phone. It's an interesting look at death, hauntings. It's a little bit humorous, love, the limits of life and consciousness, and how all those big ideas interface with technology. Okay, so this is just a check-in and a reminder. If you have questions, let me know. I've gotten a couple questions about your homework around the poems. So your homeworks, there's so many of them and so many different ones. The reason for that was because I wanted you to be practicing working with the poetry. You're obviously getting credit for that. I didn't go through and give extensive feedback to each piece of homework because each piece of homework was on a different skill and a different thing. So, and it's not, everything will help you with this essay, but it's not the same thing as the essay. Does that make sense? But all of that, having said that, if you think you have an idea in one of your homeworks that could be your thesis, could be the beginning of the thesis for this essay, send me an email with the homework and like highlight, put it in the body of the email and highlight the part that you think you can use for your essay. And if you have a question about that, ask me a specific question. So I'm not giving extensive feedback on homework because that is more of a thinking exercise. It's more for you than for me. Of course, you're all getting credit for it. I've read through them. I'm not seeing, I don't think there's anybody's that I haven't read. I'm reading them to make sure you're getting it. And even folks who say that they're struggling with the poetry, you're having great insight into the poems and you're using the tools we're developing. So everyone seems to me to be on the right track. If you feel concerned that you're not, copy and paste the part you're concerned about, put it in an email, develop a specific question so I can address that question directly, and make sure that the question you're asking connects to the major assessment. So all of the smaller work is like preparation for the assessment, which is your essay. The essay is the assessment of both your learning around poetry devices and how to read literature, as well as your internalization of writing an essay structure. If you have questions, email me. All right, that's all. Bye.